hello, everyone. Hi, guys, welcome to my channel. This is going to be a message for the sign of Pisces. Pisces, my messages are timeless, so when you see them is when you're meant to hear them. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Also, please don't forget to hit the post notification bell so you can get alerts when my videos are posted. Pisces, if you're new to my platform, welcome. Please hit that subscription button. It would totally mean the world to me. O cosmic creator, source of all life and light, you're my shepherd, guiding me through every valley, every shadow. I lack nothing, for you lead me beside the still waters and restore my soul. In your presence I find peace and strength, for you're with me always. You're for me, and your love prepares a path before me, even in the face of adversity. Grant me the serenity to embrace when I cannot change, the courage to change what is within my power, and the wisdom to discern the difference as I walk each day in faith. In the presence of your infinite grace, I am unafraid, for your kingdom flows through me as it does all creation. With deep gratitude, I give thanks for the miracles already set in motion in my life. Shift what must be shifted, move what needs to be moved, and illuminate my path with your divine light. Align my heart, my actions, and my soul with your will, for I know you have already provided the strength, guidance, and blessings that I need for now and forever. Amen. As I dwell in your sacred presence now and forever. Amen. Pisces, you're walking at a frequency shaped by wisdom and life that they have not yet reached. Pisces, you're walking at a frequency shaped by wisdom and life lessons that they haven't reached. Your path isn't meant to be understood by everyone. It's tuned to a vibration earned through evolution, intuition, and soul experience. Don't dim your light to fit into spaces that can't yet perceive your glow. Keep moving with grace and knowing. Your energy teaches without words. Amen and period. All right, so good morning, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for being here. When I hear a message saying you're walking at a frequency shaped by wisdom and life that they haven't yet reached, um, one, it gives me age, but age does not also mean always wisdom. Like older people, you would think that they have experience because they have been on this earth for a little bit of time. Something strange is happening because I just talked to y'all. I know about programming this channel all week long, and I made sure that everything went in. But for some reason, I'm still looking at second day of not fully having what was put there and prepared. So we have what is this? A Q&A question. What's your strength in walking in this higher frequency? So y'all can answer that whenever y'all come through the door, come through the gates, because the alert just went out. Age does not always mean wisdom. I just watched a video of a lady showing that there was a trend a long time ago where people was like sticking quarters and things in that nature like to the wall, and a child, a baby that was probably every bit of 2 or 3 years old actually showed their mother did something, and the mom was saying, how did they know how to do this? Like, where did they learn this from? So, as y'all know, when they say out of the mouths of babes, children come into this universe, already programmed. They know what they know. And I try to, sway them away from doing something. Children are adventurous. Children are, very open. And then, here the adults come. Now, there are also adults that, we learn. The ones that, common sense isn't so common, just so we're clear. But the ones that develop the common sense, the lessons to, I don't need to go through that again, um, one and done. Sometimes it makes two and done, but even maybe the third time's a charm. But the ones who really get it, like, this is what I'm supposed to be here to do. This is what you're not gonna keep completing or doing the same exact shit over and over again, especially when I know it doesn't serve me or it doesn't, put me in the right frame of mind. So it's when women or men will say, how come I keep attracting the same energy? They'll say, oh, we have a type, you have a type. And that could be a thing. You could potentially have a type, or it could just be a lesson. And these are the people that are coming along to teach you the lesson. How long is it going to teach you to get it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Some people keep bumping their head, learning the same lesson over and over again, and then they'll be crying, saying, oh, well, why does the universe or why does God keep letting da 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 da? No, it's you and your patterns and your habits. You keep being shown where this is going wrong. You like this, you want to do this, but this has a pattern of being this type of trouble, this type of trauma, this type of drama every time. Gravitate towards because, why not? I like it. Nobody's judging, but somebody's judging. I exist beyond limitation. My essence is the voice of the infinite. I exist beyond limitation. My essence is the voice of the infinite. I walk in ancient light, remembering itself through. I walk in ancient light, remembering itself through me. A lot of y'all are the types of individual who would say, like, how did I know this? How did I know this? Or how did I know that? Like, how was I able to, predict da 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 beforehand? People would come to me, y'all. People would come to y'all and ask y'all, about advice, about their situation. You would always give them good advice for their situation, their, issues, but somehow you fall into traps that you know better than to, well, hold on. You fall into traps that you tell other people about. You have fallen into traps that you have told other people about. So it's like you can see it where when it comes to you, but the amount of about a time or the amount of time or the amount of catering or, whatever you put to a situation. It's like when the lady was crying yesterday and she said she thought she exhausted her spiritual gifts on people because we are, very loving individuals. We will continue to keep giving, 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 even when we know and we see, like, mind you, I got the same issue with my son right now. Like, I'm not joking because even in the process, I mean, it resonates so much because the youngest one, I don't know how this nigga always wanting something, wanting something, wanting something, but by the time you go and ask him for something, he has his dad's spirit and he is definitely like, and now I'm getting ready to, because today is actually on the table. I have to now deliberately tell him no because I be wanting to tell him yeah, but now in my spirit, I gotta now make sure that from this point on, I tell him no, or I bargain or barter with him ahead of time because nigga, you gonna have to give me something in order for me to do something to you. But that's the lesson he's making me have to teach him. So, I'm dealing with it with a person, but mind you, a couple of times I just be forgetting and I just say yeah anyway and I just do it. But I'm doing it because, it's my son and hopefully I get him to understand that life in the world is reciprocity and not have your dad's bitch ass spirit. But, he probably looking at me and saying, now I understand, because I thought about this the other day. He might understand why me and his dad, split up, broke up, because, kids start to see their own, patterns in their parents. And I get it, because, I tell everybody, I'm fucking annoying. I ain't gonna lie to you. Everybody will tell you. The kids will tell you. My brother will. I'm fucking annoying. Because I want what I want, I'm going to get what I want. And if I don't get it, I'm going to, make sure that I get it. That's annoying to other people. Whereas to me, it is give it to me the first time I tell you that I want it. End of story. Is that the wrong behavior for me to have? Maybe. But again, conditioning and the way I grew up says no is not an answer. No is just the starting point for, no means no, so don't get it fucked up. But for me, it is when I'm asking for something, like what I gotta do to get it. Like I don't want to take it, like what I gotta do to get it, because I'm never gonna take anything. No means no. But again, how do I gotta get it? I'm willing to negotiate. I'm willing to bargain. So don't tell me no, especially when I come to ask for something, because I'm not asking for it because I want to be annoying. I'm asking for it because I want it. Now hand it over. And then here they go. No. Either way, point of it is starting point. But no means no. All right. So have some discernment in the no department. All right. Anyway, my wisdom is encoded in the stars. Awaken and by. Yo, I be cracking up because when some of these lessons come out, you know how it be like some of these lessons are, it be hypocritical or it's a conundrum, right? Because It is what it ain't. As above, so below. It's like the same thing, but not. It's all yours, but it's not. And again, no means no. But you get a couple no's before you get to the success of the assignment. So again, you see what I'm saying? You have to have some discernment in the when the no means no, don't take nothing. But when it comes to your life, when it comes to your business, when it comes to your art, when it comes to your craft, they will tell you you might get 64 no's until it's the yes. So you keep asking. Have some discernment, because it all exists at the same time. And what's right for this conversation on the no is not right for this conversation on the no. Understand? So it's almost like being able to comprehend, understand when it works here, but it don't work here. Because people tell you that. Like, they can only say no, but you keep trying, keep knocking on those doors, especially if you want to get your product out, or especially if you want to get your, but, on another hand, on the flip side of that, if we having a different conversation, everybody will agree to, bitch, no means no, and that's the end. So what y'all want me to do? Y'all believe in this one, or y'all want me to believe in this one? It's kind of hard because you have to believe in everything. You have to know. You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run, and then the mind fuckery of it all. I no longer seek alignment. I am alignment. They're asking you to seek something because again, when we start we're looking forward, we're thinking that we're out of alignment, not realizing that everywhere we are, everywhere we have been, every situation was meant to help us. And whether or not it was something that we felt like we fell into, or something like we volunteered for, or something we felt like this is just what it was, because then there was another assignment on that. It is what it is, but it really wasn't. It was pushing something to the side because you didn't want to deal with it. But it's elevation and growth, knowing when to play what card and what hand. Everybody's not the same. So it would be, kind of reckless of me to think that every man in America is the same. And so if I was to do this, particular, it don't matter what the action, if I was to do this, every man would respond the same. That's not true. It's not true. And sometimes the cycle of life and the rotation will put somebody that is 56 years old and the know-how is the wisdom and the progression, because they have gone through whatever it was they have gone through to now get here. So this person right here knows that if I do this, there's a pattern of the same result. And you know what they say, the definition of insanity is the something over and over again expecting different results. So in 56 years, this person has known that if I do this, I keep getting the same result. So, okay, let me switch the loop. Let me move on out of the loop and let me not do that anymore. So I'm going to step to the side, and then they get a different result. They may like the result, may not like the result. The previous result may have been a better result, but it still wasn't good enough. Or switching it up, the new result could be the very thing that gets them where they need to be. How many cycles did you go through that? How many times did you go through that? Now, I counted one time that I thought it was 3, but I went through 4 cycles with the same exact situation. A ghosting, ending conversation, ending of a friendship, and all the wrong ways. They wait me out because everybody knows that all we have to do is give her some time. She's a Pisces. She'll sucker for a love ass bitch, right? That was true. It was true until it wasn't. It was true up until I realized the pattern as to how people had bad behavior with me, played in my face, didn't care about, they said they did. They said I love you, and I really want to be your friend, or I really want to be your lover, or I really want to be related to you. I really want to be da 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 da. That's what they said, but the actions did something else. The actions kept making me, like, I don't know if y'all really like me or not, because y'all, treating me in a way that don't seem, friendly, loving, or family oriented at all, period. All right, so then when I started noticing the cycle, okay, let me break that, behavior, because this time when they do that, I'm gonna just go on. And then when, they feel like the year or two has passed, when they know I'm gonna be able to talk to them, or they think that I'm gonna be able to talk to them, all of a sudden 3 years passed one time. 3 years passed one time, and I had not spoken to a person that I consider to be my best friend, right? But just like clockwork, they waited it out, and then all of a sudden they eased their little way on in. Meanwhile, it wasn't nothing but another cycle. I should have known better, but here we go, sucker for a love ass bitch, and I like my friends, I like my family, so let me go ahead and along enough time. Guess what? Bitch did the same exact thing. Took her longer, but bitch did the same exact thing. The behavior was still there. You know what they started getting better at? Learning how to fool me, learning how to manipulate on a different level. I'm gonna still do the same exact shit, but I ain't gonna do it twice. It may take her a little bit more time to catch up, or to think that, oh, I'm really a good friend, a good cousin, a good da 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 da. All they did was waited you out. All they did was wait me out. All right, so then the next infraction comes along. All right, with age and wisdom, you would think you would have caught on by now. Do you know that I have children, right? And my kids, because of the cycles that I have, displayed to them, I actually had looked at my kids' cycle, and I'm like, oh, these kids is ruthless. But, again, who raised them? So then I figured out why they was ruthless, right? So my, a couple patterns emerged with them that I started to notice. You one and done, nigga. One and done. It could be good, or that could be bad. Because of course we want to chop situations off, at the door. Like, oh, you did that infraction, bitch, you're done. We not gonna go into 20, 30 years with you doing the exact same thing. All right, so when I noticed the thing with my kids, one and done, I'm like, damn. Because I made them mean. Like my daughter, I said it a couple times. Like, yo, she's mean. But mind you, everybody describes me that way. Like a lot of people in my family, they describe me that way. They tell people real quick, don't play with her because she ain't gonna play with you. They're not wrong. But I noticed the extreme in them, and then I felt bad. And I told them, I said, I feel bad that I did that to y'all. But I understand. I understand how they got that way. But on the flip side of that, was that the right thing? Maybe, because it may protect them in the long run, but it don't also show them no stickability. Sometimes, people mess up. Everybody, thank you, Joe. Thank you. Everybody is not taught the same way. So whereas you may have learned this in your household, because for instance, one of my kids had a friend, and the friend was raised different, like than my kid was. I gave my kids, some freedom, but this one had a little bit of freedom to the point where it's almost like they kind of, raised themselves a little bit or whatever, which was cool because I believe that children should be that way. Thank you, love you. They should be able to, be people, adult people, children people that make decisions under the supervision, under the guidance. So then that way, that they know how to make productive decisions when they get older, right? That was what I believe, and I truly, fully stick with that. I think that was one of the best things that I could have done. But on another note, when a person or, a child gets entirely too much and there's nobody to rein it in and to say, take a bath, brush your teeth, da 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 da. They grow up into stinking ass adults that don't take a bath, brush their teeth because they was never supervised to take a bath, brush their teeth. Or they knew how to take a bath, brush their teeth, and they did what they needed to do. But if they lack some, early advancement, early warning, early care, da 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 da, it's because they were left, too far to, to their own devices. It could be changed by people that they come around with, or it could just be, downhill from there. Long story short, we don't know what we're going to turn out to be until we turn out to be it, right? We just know that we have, good parents or bad parents, and we can have good parents that as a child, as a teenager that's being restricted, we think they're bad parents until we get older and realize, oh shit, My parents did good by that because, other people did da 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 da. Every breath I take restores divine order within creation. I take restores divine order within creation. I'm not new here, I grew here. I'm a part of earth. I'm a part of creation. And so are you. You're not new here, you grew here. Now, a lot of us are in the remembering phase of where did we come from? Who are we? Why are we here? What is our purpose? Meanwhile, we learning all these things and tied to completely, fully, and utterly. And then they're saying, oh, now you have to trust your own intuition. Now you have to know, because again, you already had to know right from wrong when, you thought you were being trained and taught right. But now everything that you have learned, you're now having to relearn something else. All the while, the world is breaking down in so many different ways. And y'all decide to live in prison. Unfortunately, I have to tell y'all something that y'all might not like, or y'all might, go on for the rest of the day, or y'all might not give a fuck. But at the end of the day is going to end, and this only happens in jail. So I'm gonna just show it to y'all, and then y'all do with this information what you will. But something has changed, and to me, it's kind of very alarming to the point that that only happens in jail.
I don't even mind looking crazy to tell y'all this because with the times that we're living in, everything is crazy right now. Hold on. So, I am in
I had to
the
make sure she
final
didn't have
months
no
of
music.
college. I asked one day writing me a letter of recommendation, please. I want to apply to a different university
Thank you.
to get my master's. So she's like, yeah, no problem. I would love to do that for you. Send me all the information. I got you. And so she writes it. She sends me a follow-up email saying, hey, just so you know, I have written it. I'm going to send it out, but just know that I am in Canada right now, and there's a strike with mailing companies, or UPS, I think she said. So just watch out, or it might take like a week or so to get there, because I went a different route, but hopefully it will get there. And I was like, oh, no worries, I won't be submitting any of this paperwork until December. No big deal, right? So I'm gonna cover this up because it just came like maybe 10 minutes ago. So I'm gonna cover up the addresses. This is the envelope that she sent it in, right? Okay. Examined by the U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Okay. And I was like, I've never seen that on a form before. Mind you, the whole thing is busted up, for the record. Just busted. Um, Here's my letter.
Her letter of recommendation. Anybody that knows that when school transcripts go, it has to be sealed.
Here's my letter that they opened.
They opened her transcripts.
And it has a
coming in from out of the country.
And Border Protection. What? Is this not getting through to anybody? Is this? Are we paying attention now? It's a letter. Why would a random letter being sent from Canada to the U.S. need to be examined by Customs and Border Protections?
Where does your mail get checked at? In jail. Okay, do that information which y'all will. I transmit peace, truth, and frequency to all that encounter my field. Because we don't live in fear. And one of the best laid plans can still, and will go awry, because God's timing is what's important. And we are definitely being advanced upon. In case y'all haven't known or not, paying attention, everybody, we're all going about our daily lives, and and that's what we should do. Frequency is important. What we are vibing at, what we're transmitting. The issue that I'm seeing right now with the frequency is that um, a lot more of this frequency, um, one is not being put out the correct way, but also two, fear mongering is not something that we wish to do. So knowing knowledge is key. Knowing is half the battle. Y'all ever I don't know how old some of y'all are, but I used to watch cartoons when I came in the house after school when I was younger, and I'm 49 years old, and it would always have a lesson. It would be like Thundercats, He-Man. He said at the end of every GI Joe, at the end of every one of the cartoons, they would always have a message, right? And the message would be like, knowing is no something about knowing, and knowing is half the battle. Information is key. We're in 2025. 2025. And the frequency of the universe is trying to be smothered and stomped. No regard for anybody but the universe. And everything that is playing out is exactly what is supposed to be happening anyway. Now, stepping outside of the frequency of the suppression, right? And arising above that, because the suppression feels like a weighted blanket. It's, if you ever felt a weighted blanket, it almost feels like it makes you want to sleep, and it's kind of hard to kind of push out. So, they said the design of the weighted blanket was to make sure that, I guess people like comfort or whatever, during their rest state. And if it feels like a snuggle or a hug, then you'll stay sleep longer. So it's supposed to promote sleeping. How many of y'all been sleeping a lot? But as of now, are y'all sleeping a lot because you feel loving and like a snuggle, or are you sleeping a lot because your system feels like it got triggered in all the wrong ways, worst ways, and you feel like a heavy weightedness that's on top of you, and you need to come up from up out of that thing, right? Because you can come up from up out of that thing. That frequency is being sent. But also there's another frequency that's being sent. When the right thing is on the way, so is the wrong thing. And there's an equal, a balance in the universe that has to be, in the alignment. You are the alignment. You are the thing that triggers the system to put happiness, helping, faith, progression, ascending. Like, it's like one of them things, I don't know, like a push pop. You ever seen that? When you push the stick, it pushes the goodness up out of the tubing, right? So it's almost the same exact thing. It's like you standing under something that's trying to press you down and suppress you, and then you gotta, try to push it up. Gave me the feeling of um even gravity trying to pull you down to keep you planet fully on Earth. But for some reason, I don't even know why I read this, and this was just one of them facts. Oh, I think because I've been putting random ass, um, things out into the universe. And do you know that when you come out of space, when the space astronauts and things, whatever they said, the anti gravity makes you taller for a couple days. And when you think about that, right? As you live on earth and as you grow, they said you start to shrink as you get older, right? So um don't that give you a like a mindset of like, damn, you mean to tell me as long as I'm walking around here, there's always something that is feeling like it's going to, push me down. I don't know why, but again, flipping things back the right way, like crisscross applesauce. You know what they teach you that in school, but you're supposed to sit here and you're supposed to do, sit politely and listen and do the right thing. The right thing, though, y'all. They keep saying listen, do the right thing, but they never been the right thing ever. So it's Little Wayne, the thing that keeps popping in my head. He said, I'm gonna flip the world up and I'm gonna drop it on. No, I'm gonna pick the world up and I'm gonna drop it on your fucking head. I'm gonna pick the world up and I'm gonna drop it on your fucking head. Because that we have been taught, everything that has been displayed to us has been wrong, has been triggering, has been now coming into the light to the tune of people don't even know how to handle the truth. People are upset for being given the truth. The more they try to trigger you by giving you the truth, are you playing into, the suppression of it all? When somebody tells you, we could take the Taylor Swift incident from yesterday, which was kind of strange because even though after I posted that and I did a little snippet of it, reason YouTube gave me a 24-hour, they had to check it. Mind you, nothing I said in that video at all, period, was racist. Nothing. What I said was, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Y'all out here trying to be upset about what that woman said, and then y'all out here upset about the necklace that she put out. She's giving you what she is. I said, they already done said, you're dealing with principalities. You're not dealing with the people, you're dealing with principalities. So people will be doing stuff, displaying shit, even when they don't know they're doing it. Their system is already set. So she showed you who she was. If the necklace, the symbolism, and everything, because again, I looked at that shit, I saw lightning bolts. That was it. The lady, and that's what I said. When that lady, that white lady said, I'm listening to black women. Black women said that they are, being targeted. So I can trust what they're saying. I'm gonna trust it from them because I wouldn't know because I'm a white. That's what she said. So of course, I'm not a white lady. I'm gonna listen to what the white lady said. That's what I said. But somehow, the fact that I even had to mention the colors, the this, that, and the third, triggered the system, the algorithm, to tell somebody to go look at what she's saying because she could be saying whatever the fuck they thought I was saying. But it took them 24 hours, mind you. I think it's still in review. It's still in review that we're discussing language. Like, because I said white. Well, guess what? Here we go again. Mind you, again, ain't never said nothing wrong. I ain't said nothing wrong. Let's see what this lady got to say. Because, I love y'all.
Some big sister advice. Some people aren't sorry for what they did to you. They're just simply sorry that you won't forget it. They don't feel bad. They're just scared of looking bad. They're not trying to fix it. They're just trying to forge how you remember it. They want forgiveness, but they don't want to have to change. They want to feel at peace with no accountability. And they just want it to all go away and the truth to never be told. So yeah, there's people out there that aren't sorry for how they treated you or for what they did. They're simply sorry for how you remember it. Some big sister advice.
Some big sister advice from a white lady. Mind you, I'm probably older than her, but I'll take the big sister advice from the white lady because guess what? The white lady said everything that belongs to every category, including race. She said,
sorry for what they did to you.
They're not sorry for what they did to you. They're just simply sorry for how you remember it or for you talking about it.
They don't feel bad. They're just scared of looking bad. They're not trying to fix it. They're just trying to forge how you remember it.
Forge how we remember it. You want to commit infractions upon me. You want to beat me. You want to abuse me. You want to do all the most. One of the things that we have all talked about and we have all discussed, and we're also seeing everything going, awry, because even in the spiritual community, communication is key. Communication is key. Communication is at top of the line. You cannot fix a situation or figure out what is going on without communication. Meanwhile, do y'all know there is no more freedom of speech? Did y'all know that? There is no more freedom of speech. But can I ask y'all a question? Because this is where, like, the line should have been very, drawn. And Miss Kelly said, so the goal post is transferable. Yes, the fuck it is, apparently, right? Because if y'all do not remember when Barack Obama was in the presidency, right? So this is levels of frequency and elevation, because I keep telling y'all, like, what is the spell that's being cast? That stuff is being done right in everybody's face, and everybody acting like they don't understand. Now, man, the same man, mind you, I ain't saying nothing other than pointing out what happened and how we got to know freedom of speech, right? Because that just happened. Now, the same man that when Barack Obama was in office, he said the most ungodliest things about a sitting president. Not nary time in U.S. history are you allowed to sit up and discuss a sitting president in the way that that man is sitting there right now discussed Barack at all, period. He said the most ungodliest things, also called for on a sitting president. Nobody said nothing because it was okay, because he was talking about a black man. And this is where I'm saying, like, until everybody figures out that you can't keep running the minute the conversation is had. Now, he was the one talking about, doing all types of ungodly shit to a sitting president. Nobody showed up. Nobody said nothing. They kept letting this man say what he wanted to say. And now, years later, the same person that triggered everybody being able to say what they want to say, the racists came out in droves. Mind you, I don't care whether or not you're racist or not. I love you still. You're not for me and I'm not for you. I don't want to go, sit at your table and eat with you. None of that. I'm glad that you know that that's what you are. I'm not beefing with that. I'm not upset with that. Nobody else should be either. You should be thankful that now you witnessing full-fledged what everybody is. And I done also said multiple times, it's racist people in every community. Racist black people be racist against other black people. Because guess what? It's neighborhoods that I done told y'all, sitting right in this seat. I done went to certain places. I was over in College Park one time, right? Because I was over at the hotel when I first moved to Georgia. I went out 1:30, about 2 o'clock, somewhere around there. What, pulled up to the gas station because I wanted to go get some snacks. Pulled up to the gas station, I get my gas. I'm getting ready, skedaddle, get ready to do what I'm gonna do. A man tells me at that gas station, Miss, whatever you're doing, go, because you don't belong over here. Get it and go, because you don't belong over here. Now, I'm black. That don't give me a pass to go into, other different neighborhoods and this, that, and the third. I understand that. I'm not against it. I ain't want to go there no way. You see what I'm saying? So it happens everywhere. People, once they start talking about it and start discussing it, it would make the conversation a whole lot, because remember, what's his name? He did School Days. Spike Lee. He was always so controversial to the world because of the fact that he was showing, even in our community, like, shit be going down, like shit be happening, right? So now the person that started the infraction, the person that threw the rock, created all the problems, is now acting as if they wasn't the ones that started that. How does the world go on and act like we don't see certain things? So again, where do they check y'all mail at, students? Or students of Earth School and people that are walking on Earth, where do they check y'all mail at? Okay, long as y'all know. All right. I live in harmony with the rhythm of my higher self. I am protected, guided, and seen by unseen forces of love. Because once I know that, I don't care what's happening. I don't care how somebody tries to do something. Kill, steal, destroy. Always on the menu, right? Always on their menu. Mind you, they will say, I come under God. But everything that you told me about God, everything that you conditioned me to know about God, says God is love. God is a vengeful God. So if God is love and God is a vengeful God and a wrathful God, and I know that God loved me and God don't play about me, I know that before whatever you try to do touches me, God gonna clean this whole motherfucker out, period. And whether or not you like the way I said it or not, just understand, cleared. Because only one God. And when you move, the universe moves too. And they may be planning for, you know, ultimate da 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 da. And then all of a sudden, we start seeing the wheels turn and we start seeing how every little thing gets nitpicked. Oh, they try to put this on that day. Oh, the universe goes in and drops that out. Let me go ahead and clear this out. Let me go ahead and send a storm to wipe that clean. Oh, the map. Because, y'all don't like it here anyway. You can't like it here. There's no possible way you like it here because of the fact that why you keep doing the most ungodliest things. So time teaches us. Again, it could be the age, or it could be the closeness to the universe, the closeness to the frequency, the closeness to God. Either way, you'll remember when I told y'all, when you know better, you do better. This is a when you know better, you do better moment, because I'm so proud of watching and seeing a lot of people, it don't matter the color, stand on human rights, stand on humanity, on the collective goal, stand on, like, we just trying to be in peace and, really live and love life. It's so many beautiful things around here, y'all. It's so many beautiful people around here. Everybody is not on the same kill, steal, and destroy. Different colors, people just loving, people just being accepted, people just being people, side by side, hand in hand, working together to get rid of whatever, whoever. If you don't want to be here, means going to go. Like, Jesus on the main line, tell him what you want. Tell him that you don't want to be here. I promise you can go. This is the moment in time. Tell him you don't want to be here. Open your mouth and say them words. Tell them what you want. But don't destroy, the people that do want to be here, the people that do, want to live in harmony. Now, you know how they done destroyed the concept of, like, world peace, because you know what they'll say. Oh, the Antichrist is coming along. That's what they put in the book. Can we even believe anything that they say right now? Because if people are outside of the country are alarmed for us because, they're telling loved ones and people who are from this country, you can't talk to people inside of this country. Y'all, what are they afraid of? What are they afraid of? You don't need my answer. What are they afraid of? And why would that not be the thing that the collective grabs out of thin air and says, bet, bet? Because clearly, if the mail's being monitored, like, what the fuck are y'all trying to figure out? Like, what could somebody be sending in the mail? So if we already know they're already, picketing, they're doing this, they're doing that, and we are getting on these pieces of that information because, the people are figuring out how to talk different to be able to, go around that. But mind y'all, even with the writing of the words on the thing, y'all do realize AI can read a picture, because if you can take a picture and stick it in the chat and it read everything that's on it, then AI can definitely, read the words that's still on the page. I don't know how it works because I'm not the software programmer. But the fact that the matter is, words are, and everybody's having to encode what we're saying in order for us to be able to discuss whatever's happening with other people outside of the country. Now, if everybody outside of the country has the same common goal that we have, we tired of these people who sitting in position who is fucking up everything for everybody. Mind you, their goal is money, but only money for them. I'm confused as to how it is that you expect for the world to go on and for the people that you're talking about to pay you, the citizens, and I'm not even talking about just in the US. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And how are they expecting for you to live without basic necessities and things that, So again, this is where the people who are, helpful, or the people who are chosen, or the people who are, feeling like they want to do, if it ain't being figured out, or if it hasn't already started being figured out, they figured it out already. They're already doing, and mind you, I'm confused as to the minions, because the minions, meaning the people who swear up and down they gonna help this system do whatever it is they're gonna do against the people that seem to think that, oh, we're gonna get good jobs when, the final carpet gets rolled out and this is what everybody. No, you're not going to get anything. You will be on the chopping block next. The devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Look at the history of, we already said we would give you 40 acres and a mule. Nope, we ain't trying to do that. We didn't do that. And now also we're trying to roll back everything that we did to help in the process. And I'm not just talking about black people. I'm talking about white people. I'm talking about everybody all in between. If it can't be trusted, it looked like a duck, it sounded like a duck, it quacked like a duck. Y'all, in the dream, like in the dream, guess who was, the people that was actually doing the slave work and everything else? It was fucking engineers, it was fucking doctors. So they may think, oh no, I got a cushy ass job. No, you get to work here now for free because of the fact that I now am about to change society, and you get to work here for free. Like, this is the movie. They were the ones that, because there was no help. There was no help. So again, I am protected, guided, and seen by the unseen forces of love. I trust God. My peace is my power. My presence is my proof. Am I supposed to know and understand? Yeah, I'm still supposed to know. I'm still supposed to see. I'm still supposed to, understand that these things are happening. Being informed is important. Being informed is important. But do I let that now control how I maneuver, how I go along? Nope. It makes me informed, and yes, I have to pay attention. And just the tune of, like, remember how, even we could go for the women. Women, I've been calling for y'all for a while, right? I've been calling for y'all for a while. Where y'all at? And I don't care what color woman you are. Where y'all at? And the reason why I'm calling for y'all is because they done enough. They done enough. They have done a fucking enough. And if the men have not seen that y'all have done enough, they are also, the ones that believe that or don't believe that, are part of the problem. Are definitely a part of the problem. They rather, and this has been the decision that all of y'all just made. Everybody, mind you, that's not the decision that y'all made. But that's the decision that y'all made when y'all collectively, all got together to rally and da 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 da. Meanwhile, we already know it was stolen, so we're not gonna say that y'all, put y'all signature on the dotted line, because we already know what happened. But women, y'all, us, are about to be, needing to make some bigger decisions than you ever thought you was ever going to make in your life. And men are not going to care unless they have a wife that they love, a mother that they love, or a daughter, preferably a daughter. And this sounds fucked up, but guess what? I didn't do it. All I'm doing is bringing it to the forefront, okay? Because it's already happened. So somebody's daughter passed away because of, laws. They couldn't get help. It's not going to be until more daughters or their daughters, but guess the fuck what? Meaning your daughter, because their daughters have access to private healthcare and private surgeons, because their daughters, are more important than yours. If their daughters have a problem, those people, we're not going to call them that anymore because the chosen ones were the elite. If their daughters have an issue, they're going to take them to, private Susie Q, da 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 da. Y'all are never going to hear that their daughter was able to get a life saving procedure because something happened. Got privileges. You having to go to, one of the public facilities will die because of their laws and they don't care. You're only going to care when it becomes your daughter, and then you're going to go picketing. You're going to be out in the streets, you're going to be rallying because you're going to be saying these people did da 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 until it's their wife, until it's their sons on the ground screaming because some drunk ass, remember we already talked about that, and me being a black woman, those being white kids, it still hurt my heart to hear them little boys crying to the top of their lungs for their parents because some drunk ass adult white man that was in control pulled out a pill and decided that the kids didn't matter. Mind you, it's not going to matter to a lot of white mothers until it keeps happening to their children. Why did it not matter to y'all when it was happening to anybody's child? This is the part where we have to all understand who we are to our core. And if crimes don't matter to you while it's not you and it's not yours, then something's wrong with you. Something is clearly wrong with your thinking cap, because it should matter. It should matter that women, don't have rights for their own bodies. It should matter that you don't have freedom of speech to say whatever it is that you need to say. Meanwhile, the nigga that started the freedom of speech or the revocation of a speech is the one that started it, is the one that did it. No accountability nowhere. If human rights and people being treated poorly and taken advantage of don't affect you until it's now you that has lost your job, a lot of us lost jobs a long time ago. A lot of us have gone through stuff a long time ago. A lot of us have learned to, what do they call, turn lemons into lemonade, because we have already been going through, the fuck shit. But meanwhile, y'all just entered the chat and y'all already don't like it. If it wasn't bothering you before, assess why. Like, yeah, go through the deep dark cracks of your soul and your deep dark cracks of your childhood, deep dark cracks of your family lineage, deep dark cracks, and understand why did it not affect you until it affected you. What type of person are you that it never affected you until it affected you? Because when I saw anybody being beaten on the ground, can't breathe, like, it hurt me because I'm compassionate to the world. Damn, you mean to tell me that because a person looks different, they got to get treated like trash? What type of system is that? What type of system do we live in? What type of system is it that speaking on human rights and basic needs gets a person taken off the map? Oh, you got to be careful what you're saying because da 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 da. This nigga called for the of a president and did not get in trouble, and now is back years later to say that people are wrong when he did it. Y'all, the thing that I keep noticing about his story is lack of accountability. Lack of accountability on every aspect, every line, every space is lack of accountability. It is the people that keep doing stuff and then get mad because we talk about it. Well, if it make you feel bad when people talk about it, don't that mean that there's something in you that says you shouldn't be doing that? That means there's something. That means there's a God spark somewhere in you that is telling you, nigga, you know you fucked up for that, right? This is the reason why you don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear it because you know it's fucked up. Meanwhile, imagine the people that go through it. Imagine some of the stories that has happened in life, like being skinned, because for somebody's pleasure. Like, let's go through the deep, dark, evil wickedness. About incarnation, right? Reincarnation in the spiritual, world, and this, that, and third. And for some reason, incarnation, I remember a high number of incarnations, and it's probably not a high number based off of, but for some reason, I either get 24 or 32. So, take it how it resonates, right? How many times you incarnated on this in this planet, right? Now, at one point in time, I during my glitch, when it was the heaviest one, I cried because I kept wondering why I was so tied to Egyptian stuff as a child, right? And I'm like, that was my favorite thing to watch. So when I went through the glitch and I was given a name, right? And that name tied me to old times, Egyptian times, right? I cried. I bawled my eyes out, right? Literally. Because when they gave me the name and I went and looked up the person that I was, right? Mind you, I found this person. Found this. And after I found the person and I started to read up on the person and some of the things, but the person got kind of what's the word, missing. The person kind of went missing in history, right? Because they didn't know where the person came from. They just know that the person appeared, right? And I kept feeling like during my awakening, it was a thing. Like, it was a sign. It showed, like, I fell out of heaven. Like, I fell out of heaven as a grown person. It was weird. But then I saw something that kind of mimicked that, right? Movie type thing, but this was a dream. So I fell out of heaven and I just went walking, right? And I went into this place. And when I went into this place, there was a family. So what they did was they covered me up and then they said I was related to them, right? So I became part of this family. Anyway, long story short, as they was showing some of the things during the glitches, I was crying because of the era and where it was. And then in its era, I said to y'all before, I want to go see my body on this air, right? So there's a place that I want to go to because I wanted to see my body, right? Long story short, there are no bodies. Because somewhere, and if y'all go look this up, there will be a timeline that isn't right. It's almost like they said this existed and then they said this existed, but that timeline isn't right. Something is very much wrong with it. And so what ended up happening was they started to show y'all in this timeline, show us that they was eating mummies back in the day. But mind you, they was eating bodies and they was using the mummies as saying that it was healing and medicinal. And so when couldn't go and once they started running out of mummies, then they started going to dig up more bodies, right? So you have museums that are saying that there's bodies in them that belong to such and such and this and that and the third. They don't fucking know. They do not fucking know, because if you go look up the timeline during when they was digging them up and eating them, mind you, this was worldwide. How many mummies do y'all think are around here that came from this, that, or the third? But mind you, they was in pharmacies, like sitting on a counter, like you go in the pharmacy and you picking out your products and it's mummy powder. Everything is for sale. Everything is for sale on this timeline. That's sad. That's so sad, because for the people who know what you are, your soul is not for sale. You know that nothing that these people have you really even want to deal with. You don't want to be involved in their scenario. But one of the things that came up is they tend to want to have the evidence, right? The evidence of. So what they try to do on this timeline is make you do something that, or get you to do something that now they have you in their pocket. So when you step into this realm, or when you step into level, I need you got to go do this because I need to have that, right? I need to be able to have you in my pocket. You know what God said? That don't exist no more. That don't exist. And so, because there is no more having you in your pocket, because even when they have it in the pocket, it's still going to get exposed. So, if you already know it's still going to get exposed, it don't exist anymore. So, I asked also in the universe, where if we are seeing the people who play by these rules, where are the people that play by the other set of rules, right? And then all of a sudden I started to see my timeline did something different, and all of a sudden I started to see that there was people that looked like me, and other people that they dealt with that didn't look like me, that these people are building in a whole nother way. And it was funny because it showed up and then it kind of disappeared as quickly as I kind of asked for it. It was almost like the universe, like what I were the men, they gave me a glimpse into it to say, it's happening. You might not see it. You asked for it, so that's why we're making it apparent for you. But it's actually happening, y'all. We gotta change the timeline. We gotta change the frequency, and it's not about age. It's not about color. It's not about money. It's not about monetarily. It is, we have to change the frequency, because if you know and you've been given the messages and the assignment, like, the earth is a beautiful place. The earth is definitely a beautiful place. There's so much stuff that you probably haven't seen, don't even know existed, places that you haven't been to, lands that you have not touched. But meanwhile, the frequency that they're trying to put out right now is suppression, weighted blanket energy to try to hold you down, to keep you pigeonholed in a situation. So you have been making sure that you have that, because we not gonna create no but remember when I told y'all, make sure that y'all are paying attention to what y'all are being shown. Make sure y'all are being paid, y'all are paying attention to what y'all are being shown, because that is the universe talking to y'all, letting y'all know that this is important to you. This should be important for you to have for your peace of mind, because not for nothing, I know, especially me, I just want peace. I just want to be able to live my life, do what I want to do when I want to do it and how I want to do it. I ain't trying to beef with nobody. I ain't arguing with nobody over, whether or not you like me or not. Good. You don't have to. You live on your property. I live on my property. But trying to, make sure I don't have a property or anything else, that don't seem to sit right well with me. And why are you so upset that I would have a property? You see what I'm saying? So women need to, y'all, start talking, and I mean really, really quickly. And even y'all women that's talking about y'all got husbands, this, and the third, y'all better make sure y'all got a good husband. Because if you got a fuck nigga for a husband, and this is who is getting ready to be, trying to run your life, and, that's why I said, if the men are not thinking that this is too much, honey, I can't tell you what to do, but wouldn't be me. Because ain't no way death becomes her, is all I'm gonna say for the women. So sooner or later, if you're not talking, you definitely need to start talking, and figuring out what's what. And I'm sorry to say it like that, but it needs to be said like that, because again, all realities are existing, and a conversation has to be given, because we can elevate, we can grow, we can go beyond. The frequency has to say exactly that, and the frequency is saying that on this side, the frequency is saying this on this side. Majestic Grace said, nah, that's real. It is. Because again, we live a beautiful life. I live a beautiful life, and I plan on continuing to live that life. I don't want to feed into, da 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 da. But we gotta see it though. We gotta see it because again, when the white ladies are talking to us, and saying that this is what's a part of their community and this that and the third, because as I said before, I thought they was regular lightning bolts. I didn't know it was a da 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 da, because I didn't even look at it that closely. That lady spotted every cue and she said, nah, you're not going to try to act like that, you're going to brush this one over. But mind you, it's somebody that plays in their field, because of course, and then the other thing, like, we get online, and I mean, different types of cultures and this, that, and the third. We get online all the time, and people say, you gatekeeping this, that, and the third. So we give up the information. How, this community and that this, that, and the third, because I seen one of the black celebrities, he was saying that we need to stop giving up the information, da 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 da. But also, are y'all paying attention to when they're giving the information too, because of the fact that some people are helping. Everybody's not trying to get caught up in whatever this is. A lot of people don't even seem like they're on that, but there's a lot of people who are. A lot of people wish to go back to old days. A lot of people wish to, return to times. But it's 2025 with all the advancements and everything else. Y'all think that that would be wise? Who am I? Anyway, I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here, and be mindful of your frequency, because there are people trying to, bring it down. You walk at a frequency shaped by wisdom and life that they have not yet reached. Whereas you can understand, this side and that side and everything in between. Some people are definitely very much one sided, and all they can see is, their shit. This is what I want because me, 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 me. And it's okay to be selfish, because remember when I said about these conversations, on one hand they'll tell you not to be selfish, on another hand you need to be very, very selfish. Know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. Alarms are being raised, but also levels are being raised as well. So we paying attention, and you're not easily broken. And if y'all don't know what that is, that's one of my favorite books. One of my favorite movies by it was Tyler Perry, Not Easily Broken. And for some reason, that has always been my favorite saying, because it's a lot of stuff that can come in, and a lot of stuff that can be said, a lot of stuff that can be done. And again, they make plans, and they may be executing their plan to, their fullest, da 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 da. But the final say, remember, I kept sitting here and a person looked like they was beating my ass. I kept saying it. I felt like I was getting my ass beat. I told y'all, I sat right in front of y'all and I said, this nigga's wearing me out, because every day it was something, 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 something. They was hitting me from left, right, da 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 da. I had to deal with this shit for 2 years. But I kept faith. God has the final say. They thought they had won. Like, ain't nothing in me not telling me that this nigga did not think that he had won. The old bitch, extra bitch, came out of the sidelines saying that this nigga had thought he won. It looked like he had won. But I never threw in the towel. I kept sitting in front of y'all and I kept saying, God has the final say. I ain't gonna lie, a couple of times in there, like I said, because I kept saying it even in the process, I felt like they was beating my ass. Like, they was putting my nervous system in like an uproar on a daily, like, y'all, I don't even know how I made it during that time, because I kid you not, I swear, like, stroke, heart attack, all along the lines, because it was too much pressure, and they was applying heavy fucking pressure on my ass. My lawyer was fucked up. It was so many things that was wrong that made me think, they got me. Like, literally, mind you, the nigga had already told me, I'll fight your ass in court. Let them do it. So I already knew we was gonna go to battle, but mind you, they knew they won. They knew they had me. They pulled out all the stops, made it so that even if I thought I had a net, I couldn't fucking touch it. Like, that was the most fucked up shit. Like, they literally blocked me to where I couldn't have done anything if I wanted to. All I had to do was sit. Mind you, don't it seem familiar? Don't it seem familiar? All we could do. That's when God is really at work, because it needs to be shown that nobody can fix it, nobody can do it. This has to be a work of something miraculous. So just because it looks bleak, just because it looks, this is where our frequency differs from other people. Our frequency is different. Other people throw in the towel and give up. Other people, what did I tell y'all the number one rule of Earth School was? Play as fuck up, because guess what? No matter what happened, I had to. And matter of fact, I can tell y'all what happened. One day, in the midst of all the trauma and trials and tribulations, I came up with the conclusion. And mind you, I jumped to the end of the play. And this is something about me that's amazing and that I love too. I will jump to, we could be in the midst of it, but I didn't jump to the end. Jump to the end of it. What I said? No matter what happens, whatever way it goes, is the way that it's supposed to happen, and then that's God telling me that it's time for your next play. It's time for the next play. So even though I didn't see and I couldn't see what would happen, I knew that even if the person won, it wasn't going to fucking drain me. Da 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 da. I would still have moves to be able to be made. It would just be a little bit of change, and I would, whatever it was, I was just going to do it, and I was going to take that as God's next signal and next sign. Jump to the end. Whatever happens, that's the way it was going to be. I had already made peace with it. Let it play out. And I think that's where a lot of people are even at this moment in time, because a lot of people have faith in the system, and knowing that we ain't come this far. The fellas, like, you mean to tell me you think we fucking came all this way into 2025 for y'all to even think? All y'all are doing is showing us that nobody can be trusted. The left side can't be trusted. The right side can't be trusted. Y'all are not for the people. That's what they're showing us. So even if we jump to the end, right? And worst case scenario, guess what? Push the fucking button. Push the button. Push the fucking button. You know the little girl, what she said on with Chris Tucker. Push the button. Push the motherfucking button. Push the button. Because if not for nothing, that one thing is going to be instantaneous. Nobody's going to feel a thing. And why y'all threatening us with a good time? Like, don't. I done told y'all this multiple times too. A person can only threaten you with something you care about. If y'all are making life fucked up to the tune where nobody feels like, push the button. Because guys, no more bills, you would hope. Or at least to the tune of, if you push the button, your bitch ass won't be here. You see what I'm saying? So it's almost like the things that they try to threaten you with, like, that's not even a real threat. Like, that would get y'all the fuck going. It could potentially get everybody going, but that may be the best thing. Okay, if not for nothing or anything else takes place, like, whatever it is, do that. Do that. Whatever people decided, remember they said, if this happens, da 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 da, and excuse me, this is where I said, and if you live in any one of these places, do with this information what you will, because not my problem, not my fault. This would be, something that y'all have going on. North Carolina, South Carolina, when all the flooding and everything else came out, and everybody lost all this extra shit, da 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 da. Right? And then they was all crying, everybody's stuck, and everybody can't get where they need to go, and da 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 this. And this man said that, oh, if y'all do this, then I'll make sure that, y'all are taken care of. Meanwhile, it happened. Nobody got taken care of, right? But in the midst of this, the biggest mouth people, right? The people that had the biggest mouth before all of this shit even took place was those people, and they were standing 10 toes down. They doubled down even on the shit. Like, fuck it. We don't care about what y'all saying. We da da da. They was 10 toes down. And then all of a sudden, soon as all the shit played out, guess who was crying the quickest, the fastest, the most? But they believed in them. You can't believe in nothing but God around this bitch, because guess what? God don't take nothing from you. God is always loving. God is always giving. And God will go to hell and high water to bat for your ass. God will send angels to war for you. Kill, steal, and destroy. They promise you a whole lot of stuff. and never really deliver. They can't deliver on something that don't belong to them anyway. They make a whole lot of promises and can never deliver. It's always trickery. So it's up to you. You choose where you wish to be. You choose where what part of the line you play. And mind you, y'all are going to be so amazed when y'all happen to, see some stuff happen, and the people who actually had faith and believed in it didn't even have to lift a finger for it. We just was able to get rid of your motherfucking ass for free. Because God took care of you. So be mindful of y'all frequency. Be mindful of your ascension, your elevation, the things that you're being talked to about and you're being told to. Be attentive to the collective. And women, I'm going to keep saying it. And if you are a woman, call for the women. Call for the women. Because the dudes, I don't know what to say. The ones that are, in alignment with that, love y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Congratulations. Hopefully, y'all play y'all part the way y'all supposed to. The ones who are not women, where y'all at? Cause we you know what they say. I brought you in this world. I'll take your ass out, and that's on facts. Take it how it resonates. I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here. See y'all later. Go with God.